Hello, my friends. Welcome to our Wednesday night special broadcast. And tonight, I'm going to share with you something very, very special. Let me share screens. Now, I'd like to welcome all of my friends that are watching this on Facebook, as well as my friends that are watching this on LinkedIn or my YouTube channel. I especially want to acknowledge my friends and students that are watching this on this broadcast that we're doing. The folks that are participating in the Zoom are going to be able to ask me questions, and I certainly encourage you to do so. Now, what I'm going to share with you tonight, you're not going to hear anyplace else, which frankly I found very surprising over the years, but it is what it is. Tonight, I'm going to share with you the 10 secrets that network marketing top earners know, but you don't because they never talk about them. So have you ever wondered how some people achieve success in your business so fast? They become top earners in your business by recruiting whales, people with large circles of influence. People like him. And when you bring a whale into your business, they tap into the people in their circle of influence and bring many of them with them. Whoops. I was introduced to network marketing in 1995 by my divorce attorney. And I got into this business. First year in the business, I did it the old-fashioned way, the way most of you were taught to do it. I was supposed to reach out to my friends, but I didn't want to do that. So I went into the cold market. I started advertising in newspapers. I had hotel meetings. I spent a lot of money. And at the end of the year, I had about 250 people on my team. Second year, I went on the internet. That's a story by itself. And I didn't have to do meetings anymore. I used to go and meet people on America Online, and I'd invite them to other meetings that were going on. And I became probably the biggest recruiter in my company. December, right after Christmas, I enrolled 5 people 4 days in a row. I mean, I had it down. And then I went to an event, first company event in January. And I really thought, they'd want me to come up on stage and talk about what I was doing. And instead, what happened was they bring this guy up on stage who in 3 weeks brought 250 people into the business. What was he doing? How did he do it? Nobody would tell me. Well, I stalked him for the rest of the weekend. I bought him a couple of drinks in the bar at night. I got his story. And I learned something that nobody would ever tell me. He'd been in the industry for 10 years. And in 10 years, he'd been in 4 companies. And every time the company he was in changed, one went out of business, one changed the company, he would bring people from his other companies into the new one. No one ever told me that. So I went back and I told my team, I had about 20 people that were actively building the business. And I said, let's go find some unhappy network marketers. And in the next 18 months, I went from about 400 people on my team to 7,000 people. And then the company that I was with was basically gutted and sold to another company, which is the subject of tonight's training. Al was one of my coaching students. Since we started working together last week, I enrolled 3 new people in my business. 1 business builder and 2 customers. The business builder that he brought brought 750 people into his business the first 15 days of December. Top earning network marketers in your business don't share this information for a number of reasons. But when you apply this information to your prospecting and recruiting activity, you will become a top earner much faster. Now, let me start right from scratch and tell you from the beginning. There is no one that you will ever meet that is more passionate and a bigger believer in the network marketing business model than me. If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't be doing this now. But there are things about this business that most people never hear, never learn, and it keeps them stuck. And when you know the whole story, when you know the game, when you know what's happening in this business, then anybody has access to anybody. Over the last 27 years, I worked with the leaders and top earners in over 700 companies that closed, failed to start, terminated agreements with their distributors, changed the compensation plan, or made other unpopular changes that forced their leaders to leave and find other companies to promote. Some started their own companies. Some went on to other companies or left the industry altogether. Many turned to creating their own products and became coaches. Many became affiliate marketers. As companies close or make decisions that are not appreciated by their distributors, the result is the migration of people out of the company and into something else. In this large group of dissatisfied, frustrated, and unhappy people are leaders with teams that will follow them to another company, and we call them whales. These leaders are commonly referred to as whales. So here are some very important facts to remember. Residual income is a wonderful thing. You make the sale once and continually get paid for your efforts. You build a team, and you build a large, growing group that's generating residual income. They quote John Paul Getty all the time. I'd rather have 1% of the effort of 100 men than 100% of my own effort. But you only get paid for as long as the company remains in business. So you must always remember, you're betting on the company owners, you're betting on the company's management, you're betting on the company's leadership, you're betting on market trends. So if the company closes, you lose your residual income. If the company merges with another company, the compensation plan always changes. If the compensation plan changes, your residual income can shrink or stop altogether. And if leaders are unhappy, they'll find another company and take lots of people with them. Now, I'm currently working with many of the leaders, top earners, and their teams in over 100 companies. Many of my students started where you are today and became the top earners and leaders in their companies thanks to social networks. Many did it faster by bringing top earners from other companies into theirs. Now, the fastest growing top earners in network marketing today will tell you that they owe their success to Facebook and LinkedIn. They have teams of people enrolling their best new customers and distributors in less than an hour a day. And the new recruits are doing the same thing within a few days of joining their business. But no one is willing to tell you how they're doing it unless you're on their team. 70% of the people that are in network marketing today are what I call orphans. The person that brought them into the business is no longer in the business, or the person that brought them into the business, they brought them in as customers. And now they decide they want to make money, they want to start building the business, but nobody's there to help them. Nobody's there to teach them. So here are 10 secrets that the top earners in your business know, but never talk about. And you have to understand why. See, network marketing companies historically work around 90-day cycles. And up until COVID hit, everything was about events, getting people to a meeting, going to someone's house. They'd hold regional meetings, Super Saturdays, and big events. Because when you bring a lot of people together in one place and you bring your guests to these meetings, the guest gets impressed with the excitement. And they look around and say, you know, look at all these people that are excited. I really don't understand all of this, but if all these people are excited, they must be onto something. So, man, I better jump in. But if they talked about the fact that this company closed and that company closed, like putting water on a fire. Nobody talks about it. The meetings are designed to keep the teams excited. So the first secret is that every month, 200 network marketing companies close, fail to launch, or make unpopular changes that drive people out of the company. Secret number 2, every month, 300 new companies are launched. Twice a year in Vegas, there are actual events where people can go and talk to vendors that have the script, that have all of the material, the software, the everything they need to start a network marketing business. But 93% of them are going to fail within 5 years. Network marketing companies actively recruit whales, top earners from other companies, especially startups. 4, successful networkers will leave a good company and move to another for all kinds of reasons. You're working with a company and on Friday, you know, you had, it was a binary and your left leg had 12,000, 14,000 people, huge volume. Monday, you come back and you find out they're gone because the leader left, took those people with him. Five, successful networkers will leave a failing company and move to another one with their team. This makes sense. See, if you really want to be a top earner in your business, you not only have to be good at bringing people into the business, you have to know how to build a team. Now, don't let all of this intimidate you because anybody can become a top earner. We know what we know, and everything we don't know, we can learn. 85% of the top earners in a company have been in more than one company during their career. Might be interesting to reach out to your upline, find out about their network marketing history. What are the companies were they in? 7, people usually make more money in their second or third company than they did in their first. When you bring top earners or whales into your business grows faster because they never come by themselves. And help is available to you to recruit a top earner or a whale. And anyone at any level of experience in network marketing can recruit a top earner or a whale. Secret number 1, 200 companies close, merge with other companies, fail to launch or make unpopular changes that create this large pool of people that are earnestly looking to find and join another company. Whales. Now, the fastest way to become a top earner in your business is to enroll someone with a large circle of influence. Again, often called whales or network marketing rock stars. The top earners in your business are constantly looking for whales and rock stars. I once mentioned it to my most successful upline, and he shot it down. He says, no. Yeah, you know, these people have pursuing their own dream. Go to your warm market. Don't go after whales. Anyone, even you can catch a whale and a rock star when you know where to find them, how to connect with them, and how to bring them into your business. And I mean anyone. Whales are professionals with large circles of influence. Now, there are many kinds of whales out there. Some whales have extensive network marketing experience, and some that come from the corporate world don't. Your business, again, grows faster when you connect with a whale and bring them into your business. And they're not hard to find. Now, there are two types of whales. In our book, How Network Marketers Catch Whales, there are insider whales, people that have network marketing experience. And then there are outsider whales, people in the corporate world or people, frankly, that have never been involved with network marketing. Now, the fast way to become a top earner, again, is to bring in a whale. So who are the best professional whales? Well, experienced network marketers would be number one. Corporate executives, classic example, is Bed Bath & Beyond is in the process of closing all of their stores. By the end of July, all the Bed Bath & Beyonds in the United States and Canada will be gone. And there are corporate executives that work for that company, as well as other companies that close, that are going to be looking for a new profession, a new job. And many of them, when they come over to network marketing, have managers, store executives. They have a lot of people that they can bring with them. Experienced affiliate marketers, experienced internet marketers, authority figures, insurance agency owners, professional athletes, celebrities, and coaches, trainers, or speakers. And these people are all easy to find on LinkedIn, easy to establish and build a relationship with. Todd sent me this. Thanks to you, Max, I enrolled 3 rock stars in a row. This wouldn't have been possible without your strategies for enrolling a whale from the corporate world. I can't tell you how grateful I am. Now, I don't share these success stories with you to impress you. I share them with you to impress upon you what you can be doing, what members of your team can be doing. So in our book, I call it the Whale Book. How to recruit corporate whale professionals from retail chain stores, restaurant chains, cafes, bars, hotels, people that hold positions like national sales managers, regional managers, store managers, recruiters, talent acquisition specialists, salon owners. And years ago, we took the popular saying, when life hands you lemons, make lemonade, and we modified it a little bit for situations where people lost their business. When something happens that takes you down a different road than you planned, you can take control of the situation and turn it into something positive. What looks like a catastrophe can end up being a wonderful new opportunity. Now, my first year in the business, when I was running ads, I had somebody answer an ad, and I'm talking to him for about maybe 5 minutes, and he says, "Excuse me, but is this network marketing?" I always hated when people ask me that question at the beginning. And I said, "Yes, it is." And he says, "Well, thanks, I'm not interested." So I asked him, why? Listen, I'm new to this business. Maybe you know something I need to know. So he says, "Oh," he says, "I got involved in one of these companies a couple of years ago. I'm good at sales. I generated an income of about $20,000 a month. And then one day the company shut down right out from under me." He says, "I would never do that again." I never forgot that conversation. And it wasn't until the 3rd year in the business that the whole thing made sense. And I often wished I would have got to that guy when his business closed. Because what I would have said to him was, "Look, the top earners in your business, if the business closes, you find another company that has great products, good compensation plan, and bring not only your team, members of your team, everybody that will follow you, but as many other leaders in the company, because everybody's looking for another business." Steps to recruiting a corporate whale. Before you talk about your business, you must first learn why they got into their profession, what they love the most about their job. What do they know about network marketing? How do they feel about network marketing? Because a lot of people out there have negative attitudes about it. What experience have they had with network marketing? What are their negative perceptions about network marketing? And it's critically important to identify and resolve anyone's negative feelings about network marketing before going into detail about your business, or they will not consider joining you. Now, I've got scripts and I've got lessons that will help you educate the person on the other end that's got a negative attitude about network marketing. Now, it may be valid, but the truth is that you've got better information than they do. You must be prepared to show these people how you can help them help the people that they work with on all levels at their previous company that are also struggling financially. For someone to achieve the greatest business growth possible in your business, they should start with their inner circle leaders at the highest levels and then move down to lower levels. This is to bring in the corporate whales. The best way to become a top earner is to first talk to the people that you know that have large circles of influence. Bring them into your business and then help them bring in their friends. The faster way to become a top earner is to talk to the professionals that you know with large circles of influence, bring them into your business and help them bring in their friends. The fastest way to become a top earner is to talk to the professionals that you want to know on LinkedIn and Facebook with large circles of influence, the outsider whale. Bring them into your business and help them bring in their friends. But the easiest way to become a top earner fast is to talk to an unhappy professional network marketing leader with a large team, the insider whale. Bring them into your business and help them bring in their leaders and team members that are already trained. They know how to build the business. The strategies and scripts contained in How Network Marketers Catch Whales, people with large circles of influence, have been proven to work to get a whale or a rock star to look seriously at network marketing and your business. And over the years, we revised it to include additional strategies. And when you use the scripts, you always edit them to fit the person that you're talking to. Now, let's talk a little bit about the industry. In January, Ray Faltinsky, who originally founded FreeLife, it operated for 22 years, starting another company. On the 3rd of January, network marketing top earners launched a company called Yanoli. People are starting companies all the time. Isagenix secured financial partner, multi-million-dollar folks to stabilize the company. And it's basically, since January, reinvented itself. It's a whole new company. I helped 60 people in Isagenix become million-dollar earners. 40 of them have left the company. They're doing other things. The Body Shop announced in December that it is no longer paying commission to their distributor. Belenis in February was sold by the owner to one of its supplier members. When companies change ownership, things change. Now, a major network marketing eruption took place in February. Well-recognized leaders from 5 established network marketing companies, including Viseo, Jeunesse, Isagenix, Monavie, and ACN, announced on February the 20th the launch of a new company. The big thing all over the internet. The name of the company is called 3. The names and board leaders from other companies are constantly being added. So when leaders leave a company to join another company, they try to bring as many leaders and team members from their old company with them. Kim Wei was the top earning network marketing leader in Jeunesse. She resigned last year and joined forces with other successful leaders from the company with the goal of creating a new company. Jeunesse ended up having to sell itself. Their income was down. They needed investors. Their leaders leaving the prior year was partially responsible for all of that. So on February 20, they opened up in 14 countries simultaneously. Now, how does that happen? Because companies have to be licensed when they open up in a country. Well, what happened was Dallin Larson, who launched a company called Mona V years ago, and then Mona V was sold to another company, launched Viseo. And the company was around for 6 years, but he couldn't get it any bigger. And one of the things that was preventing his growth was a lot of people held it against him. What happened with Mona V? So they literally, dismantled Viseo. One day it was Viseo, the next day it was shut down. Now they're using the Viseo facilities, they're using the Viseo employees to start 3. And all the leaders in Viseo had an option. Start building 3 or go home. There was no option. And so the thing that you have to remember, this is a big, big thing all over the internet. She showed the power of their new pay plan. But new companies always change their pay plan. Dallin Larson was a Nu Skin distributor, was hired by USANA to be their vice president of marketing. He left to start Mona V with 6 investors in 2006 and stayed with them till 2014. Mona V borrowed $182 million in 2010. And in 2015, the note was purchased by Jeunesse, and the companies merged. Now, people say that one of the reasons why Jeunesse collapsed was Jeunesse was buying up these companies that weren't doing well. And that was the reason that they expanded. So in 2017, Dallin started Viseo. And on February of 2023, he shut it down. And he transferred its operation facilities to the new company 3. George Ruiz has been a leader and a multi-million-dollar earner in network marketing in 4 companies. He's been following me since the AOL days. In fact, 2 of his million-dollar earners he connected with on AOL. I met him for the first time at an Isagenix event in San Diego, and we've been good friends ever since. But if you look at his history, his first network marketing company was VAXA. He was with it for 2 years. Company went out of business. Then he joined USANA, rose right to the top of the business, because once you know how to do it, you can do it again and again and again and again. So he was in USANA for 8 years, and Jimmy Smith and some other top earners in USANA left and went over to Isagenix. And they convinced George, after 32 tries, to join Isagenix. Now, he stayed with Isagenix for 13 years. And then he left. And he went over to Viseo. And it took him almost a year to make Diamond, because Isagenix was giving him a hard time. They were suing him. And there was nothing wrong with Isagenix. The reason he left, there was a solid reason for him to leaving. When he started the company, the business, he put his Isagenix business in his first wife's name, and he got a divorce. And then he married Adrian. And so an issue evolved over getting his money. So now he joins Viseo, and he's the top earner in the company. And then in February, he joined 3. Now he's on his way to becoming a top earner in that company, but it's a new company. It's a startup. They're attracting a lot of leaders, but startups change. In 2020, Javita abandoned the network marketing business model. They just sent emails out, hey, sorry, we are no longer going to be paying our distributors. That same year, Mary Kay pulled out of Australia and New Zealand. Univera, a company that had been in business for 17 years, announced to all of their distributors, all of their leaders, that we're no longer going to be paying our distributors. Or, we said we're not going out of business. People can keep buying our products, but our leaders, you got screwed. This year, NECANN pulled out of Europe. So all the leaders that had teams and organizations in those countries lost their business. So when Javita announced it, you could go on LinkedIn, and there were over 1,000 people on LinkedIn that you could pick up that were distributors in Javita. Mary Kay blamed market conditions for closing the Australia operation. You could go on LinkedIn again. You could find they had 928 people in Australia and New Zealand. The year before, Avon pulled out of Australia. Now, Renata Lundberg worked with the network marketing company Univera for 17 years. She was one of their top earning leaders. Back in 2012, she reached out to a friend of mine who was big in Amway. Said, do you know anybody that can help me learn Facebook? So he introduced her to me, started working with her, helped her, and as a result, not only did she make millions of dollars in the company, she helped many of her team members make money too. And then she gets the note. It's devastating. She literally lost her business. So right now, there are two perfect storms of opportunity for all of you that are in network marketing. One is the network marketing industry storm. Companies are closing, companies are changing, and LinkedIn is going to give you the fastest, easiest access to connect with these people. The second storm is the business industry storm. As companies are closing or they're reducing their staff. Again, the easiest way to get to these people is on LinkedIn. So with the network marketing storm, like I said, 200 companies close. 300 new ones are launched. The business industry, hundreds of large companies are closing and laying off staff in record numbers. Professionals are losing their jobs or rushing to LinkedIn to find new jobs. LinkedIn added 10 million professionals last month. In fact, they're adding 10 million professionals every month. Now, sales is the most common profession, accounting for 20% of the laid off workers. Now, applying this information will have an explosive effect on the size of your business. The Secret helped Francisco build a team of 72,000 people in 20 months. He now has 500,000 people in his business. How did he do it? He recruited whales. Sheldon Miller was a Manatech presidential. It's my first coaching student who added 3,500 people to his business in 3 weeks. And it helped Cindy add 3,000 people to her business in 3 months. I'm going to share their stories with you tonight. So when you use my texting tactics and new prospecting strategies that produce immediate results, you can become a top earner this year. So back in June of 2021, thanks to your strategies, and my team has grown from 200 people in November to 2,000 people in June, included our 16 experienced network marketers who love me, love him, because he's teaching them what I taught him. His business is on fire. And so is he. So he goes from this. I couldn't wait to share this with my mentor. My business has now grown to 72,000 people in August. So in August, he had 72,000 people. 2 months later, he had 300,000 people because he enrolled a whale who added 200,000 people to his business. Your strategies and scripts are working for everyone. So what you learn, you can teach. Sheldon added 3,500 people to his Manatech business in 3 weeks. Now, Sheldon was the first person that I ever coached. He was a good friend. He was a Manatech presidential. And in 2006, he had broken up with his girlfriend. And so he was looking, hey, I might as well spend the holidays building the business. He was the kind of a guy who was very outgoing, very gregarious. He could get on an elevator. He reminded me of the comedian Flip Wilson. Probably a lot of you don't remember Flip. But Flip came up with the phrase, what you see is what you get, which also you can attribute to the social network profiles. So I started working with him, and back then we didn't have Zooms. He called me up and says, I want to learn how to do this. He was recommending me to all of his people. His people were having great success with it. Manatech was the first large company that really grabbed a hold of my training. So he's sitting in front of his computer. I'm sitting in front of mine. I'm talking to him on the telephone, and I'm talking to him. I know what's on the screen. And I'm telling him, go here, click on this, click on that. We created his screen name was Mr. Double Dare, because back then he didn't use your name. AOL, it was you had 600 characters for a profile. So what was the significance of Mr. Double Dare? Sheldon was in retail sales prior to getting into Manatech. Wasn't doing too well. He was actually living in his car. So one of his friends, and he was also a musician. So one of his friends invited him to a Manatech meeting, but he wouldn't go. Then his friend dared him, wouldn't go. Then his friend double dared him, and he went, and it was life-changing for him. So he jumps into Manatech. 6 months later, his financial problems are over. I mean, he's making money. He's doing very, very well. He's no longer living in his car, and now he's driving a BMW. So now I work with him for 2 hours a day, 3 days in a row. And on the second day, as we're putting this stuff together, I could tell he was losing interest. It was kind of boring. So America Online had a little section called Love on AOL, where they allowed their members to put up their pictures and, describe themselves. So I went over to the Love on AOL section, and I started pulling up women in the Oregon area, because that's where he was living. And I started sending him links to these profiles. After he got the second one, his interest perked up. All right. And he's really paying attention. And then when we were done the third day, in addition to showing him how to search, he wanted me to make sure that he knew where Love on AOL was. Well, I don't hear from Sheldon for 7 weeks. Started at the beginning of December. Third week in January, I get a phone call. Max, you have changed my life. Always a pleasure to hear something like that. So I says, what's up? What's going on? He says, I have got the fastest growing group in Manatech. This month, I've added over 3,500 people to my business. And I'm getting married next weekend. And I wanted to know, I owe it all to you. Married? Yeah, I met someone on the internet. And I liked the guy, and I said, have you ever heard of a phrase called long engagements. Oh, no, 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 no. She's my soulmate. Well, what happened was 2 weeks after our coaching session, he met an unhappy top earning network marketing leader in C-Silver, who was also a musician that played the piano. Okay. Network marketing has always been about relationships. The more you have in common with someone, you like the same things, it's relationships. Now, she had a bigger group in C-Silver than he had in Manatech, but C-Silver had big problems. They were founded in 2003. They made health drinks and dietary supplements. At its peak, the company had 700,000 customers and distributors and had monthly sales as high as $20 million a month. But earlier in the year, on the 25th, the Federal Trade Commission ordered C-Silver to pay almost $120 million in fines for using false and misleading product claims and ordered them to reimburse consumers. The bad publicity was killing recruiting and business building. So she started bringing her team of leaders, customers, and other leaders in the company and their teams over to Manatech. In 3 weeks, she would bring 3,500 people into Sheldon's business. They had the fastest growing team in the company. And by January 2007, and the icing on the cake was they also got married. C-Silver closed at the beginning of January because the owners of the company were tired of fighting the Federal Trade Commission. Two things in common: both network marketers, both musicians. Cynthia added 3,000 people to her business in 3 months. Now, everybody's got a story, and I'm going to share hers. I recruited Cindy into my network marketing business. I spent 7 months recruiting out of 2 bars, Palm Beach. Met Cindy. Cindy worked at the post office. She'd been in network marketing before, never had any real success. She got into our business because for the social life. I was working with a company that had a satellite system where you could have delivered to your home 24-hour a day personal development programs. The company was called the People's Network, TPN. So Cindy actually, after about 3 months in the business, tells me she's going to buy a computer to meet people, and I laughed at her. I suggested she get psychiatric help. I said, you can meet people anywhere. So she buys the floor model of a computer. She had to use 4 credit cards to do it. And 3 weeks after she bought the computer, she enrolled one of the wealthiest men in Florida that she met online. And I was so impressed after I met him that I went out and bought a computer. She was responsible for me going online. So now Cindy loved horses. She owned a horse. And Cindy meets Roger up in Jacksonville, who was also a horse lover. That was their common connection. Roger was a networker. He was building an ACN business. Roger always anticipated that Cindy was going to get into his business. ACN had been around for a long time, TPN. TPN was only 4 years old. I was Cindy's upline. So ACN changed their comp plan. And the day Roger got his check, he called Cindy or sent her a message, decided he needed to make a change. So he came into our business. Now, our company had a lot of events. I mean, they had 2 big events in 2 cities every month. They were based out of close to Dallas, Texas. So whenever I would go to these corporate events, I would wear a cowboy hat. And so people would find me. So I'm talking to Roger, and I said, Roger, got a story. He said, the company changed, comp plan. I was making $2,000 a month. Now I got a check for $700. I'm not happy. So I said, Roger, if you're not happy, I suppose there are other people in the company that are not happy. He says, nobody's happy. So I said, Roger, why don't you give me the name of your top upline? I'm going to call him. And if I can get him in the business, he's going to go in under you. Well, he was reluctant to do it because he was still getting $700 a week. He didn't want anybody to know. And I said, Roger, I'm not going to say a word. I'm not going to mention your name. So he gave me the name of his top earner. So here, Roger was an area coordinator. His most successful upline was Terry Swords, who was a regional vice president. I called Terry up. Now, whenever you're going to call somebody cold and you've got an agenda, the proper way to do it is to introduce yourself and state why you're calling and ask, is this a good time to talk? Okay? If it's a good time, go ahead. If it's not a good time, well, when can I reschedule and call you? So I get Terry on the phone. I introduced myself. I said, I'm a leader in a network marketing company, and a number of your people are joining my business. And I, wanted to know if you had some time to, kind of what's going on. So he said, I'll give you 15 minutes. We spoke for 3 hours, or I should say he spoke. Because I just asked a couple of questions and he just told me his whole life story. So now in Terry's organization, he had leaders, the blue guys, and he had sub-leaders, the red ones. Now, any one of these people could have gotten you to Terry. He took me directly to Terry. And and now the deal was, I told him, or he told me, he says, I would never get into another company unless I could meet the owners of the company, look them eye to eye. So, okay, you're in Oklahoma City. We're in Dallas. It's a 3-hour drive. I'll set it up. So I called the office and I asked for the CEO's secretary. I said, I'm a leader in South Florida and I've got a whale in Oklahoma City that would like to come check out the company. She set the whole thing up. Scheduled the appointment. So he went to the company and the CEO was Jeff Olson and the co-founder was Eric Worre, and the two of them sold him. So now he's driving back to Oklahoma and he's on the phone. He says, yep. He says, I really like this. He says, but man, I've had a lot of my people have told me about this company. Basically, what he's saying to me is, why should I get in business with you? Because there's no obligation. Just because you show somebody the business doesn't mean they're obligated to get into business with you. And anybody that's a serious business builder that knows the importance of being connected with somebody that can help them, that's why they connect with other leaders. But then there's an ego thing going on between leaders. So why did he get in business with me? Because I told Terry, I said, Terry, as soon as we get the paperwork done, I want you to give me a list of all the regional vice presidents in the company. I'm going to call every one of them and I'll sign up as many of them under you as possible. I'm going to make it literally a project. I may even put a couple of my people on. And the other thing is I'm going to teach you and everybody on your team how to use the internet to build the business. And that got his attention. So Terry joins my business. Company was an event company. And so for the next event in Texas, Dallas, that's a group that he brought to the first meeting. I think I'm back here. All right. He brought all these people. And from this group, they added 1,400 people to her business in 60 days, and the group would go to 3,000 a month later. We ended up bringing over 5 other regional vice presidents from ACN. Cindy became known as the internet queen in our company. And this is Jeff Olson. These were some of my leaders. And this is Eric Worre with another group of my leaders. So where are they today? Jeff became, after TPN, became part of Prepaid Legal. And Jeff introduced me to Harlan Stonecipher, the owner of the company. He says, Harlan, this guy's figured out the internet. So I went to Ada, Oklahoma to show them what I was teaching, but they weren't interested because they didn't want to use the internet. He started Nerium. They had to change their name to Neura. Eric Worre is, GoPro. He's got this training business. It's huge. Terry is a top earner in Shaklee, and me. I've been teaching this information. Next month, it's going to be 27 years. Now, Todd, using the scripts, the whale book, 10 days, connecting with 30 people a day, enrolled a business builder yesterday, had 3 solid appointments today. 20 years in the business, trying everything. He's amazed at the results he was getting. So he had 3 appointments. In the afternoon, he sent me this at 3:41. I enrolled all 3. Freddie Malero, back in 2008, started implementing my strategies, and it was a 7-figure earner in his business. Dave Angelo became the top recruiter in the newest network, surpassing Ray Higdon. The newest network brought me into the business to train their leaders because Ray had outrageous attrition. He'd bring people into the business, and 90% of them were out in 30 days. 99% of them were out in 60 days. Dave was building relationships. Ray was using an affiliate marketing platform, and the newest network was the business. So he went wild. And but before he could get the credit for doing what he was doing, the newest network went over to World Ventures, and Higdon went out. Now he's a trainer. He's not building a network marketing business anymore. Peter Olson was recruited by Dave Angelo into Numis, rose to the top of the company in 4 months. Today, he's the top earner in Mint Builder. He couldn't believe the 12 questions. And then he just kept rank advancing. Rhonda Collier, who was $1 million earner in Isogenics. Thank you, Max. When we started working together, she was making 150,000. 3 years later, she was up to 750. Send me this. My team just enrolled the #1 earner in another company. She's making $500,000 there. Sheila signed up a woman she met an hour ago. I landed a big fish. Timothy, building an Enagic business. He was doing good, but after he went through my boot camp and we did a couple of coaching sessions, rose to the top of the company. He got a big award at their company event in December. Signed up 41 customers, 1 business builder in 5 days following the boot camp and the retreat. Our next retreat is the end of August. Next month, I sign up 62 more customers and 2 more business builders, and one of my business builders acquired 59 customers. If you know who you're looking for, it's easier to connect and it's easier to enroll today on LinkedIn more than Facebook. Tiana is a doctor. She's been in 10 network marketing companies. Today, she's making a 6-figure income. First time in 10 years. I was on fire after your retreat and signed up 6 people. Since the retreat this weekend, I made 1 post, had 20 people respond, spoke to 13, signed up 4. 1 was the #1 bodybuilder in New Zealand. Yeah. Jacques, I'm a graduating boot camp and I have a real success story developing. I'd love to connect with you and fill you in. Connected with 2 whales on Facebook, and they're bringing in other leaders. Your business grows faster when you bring in leaders. Renata,
Matt, I just want to tell you that since I started working with you personally with a one-on-one coaching session, and since I have been able to send our associates to your free webinars, to your boot camp, our business has completely changed. So many people who have been with us for many, many years are now coming out and texting me and emailing me and telling me that with your social media method of operation, they are now on board building a business. It's incredibly exciting to us because these are people who deserve it, and I know they can be successful with your methodology.
So, Top Earner has all these customers. When the customers who didn't want to go to their friends, didn't want to go to their warm market, learn that they could build the business on Facebook, they became business books. Now, getting the email from the people in Univera that the company is closed, it's like getting a divorce. Or it's like coming home from work early and finding your spouse in bed with your neighbor. So she kind of stepped away from the business for 6 months. I taught her how to build the business on Facebook. So she decides she's going to build LifeWay. Using everything that I taught her to build Univera on Facebook, she just went back, started reaching out to the people on Facebook that knew what she was doing. And in 6 months, she was at the top of the company, and now she's one of their corporate, she's on their corporate advisory board. Annie Van Dyke in Amsterdam, son of a guy in her business from Cyprus, had 50,000 people in his former business. She made so much money from bringing this one guy into the business. She took off for 6 months. What can I tell you? So she comes back and she says, Max, do I got to start over? I said, no. So she comes back. I gave her some things to do. We changed her profile a little bit. Within 2 hours, she had 13 people looking at her business. And I told her, all these guys that are approaching you, that are internet marketers, none of them are making any money. So I gave her a script, and she signed up 3 guys. In the last 2 weeks, I have over 30 qualified people looking at my business. When I first started working with you, only 1 out of the 30 would have been a good prospect. Today, thanks to you, every one of these 30s is a serious prospect, and I expect most of them to get into my business. Ricky never expected to recruit a whale in the UK. Rosie Gonzalez was building an ASEA business. In 1 year, she built a business of 15,000 people. Ron Federico is an executive director today in Maluka, primarily because of the process that I taught him. And Joe Whaley has got an amazing story. He was a Power Lead system user, and he enrolled 18 people his first boot camp, his first month. While he was in boot camp, I was coaching him. He called in at the beginning of the year to announce that he is making $1 million this year. First month, 18 people. I've been successful in sales all my life. You awaken many of the classic sales techniques I used years ago, giving me an ocean of people to talk to. I love it. Can't thank you enough. You quadrupled my business, taking me from standing still to being so busy I can't do anything else. So I was doing a Power Lead system training, I think it was in January or February, and I saw him there, so we started to talk.
Let me open Joe up. You know, I love it when former students come back. Hi, Max. Joe, how are you? Good, doing great. I love it. You know, I constantly refer to you as, you know, one of my favorite success stories, because Joe here is probably one of the most experienced, talented salespeople I've ever met. I mean, this man could sell you anything.
Sweet. See, I like him already.
You know, it's true. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about you. You know, when I was working with you back in 2018, you know, you picked it up right away, you were doing great. And then in 2009, we decided to do this insurance thing. And I never thought that, I mean, you had pretty high goals, you know, 100 agents in 2 months. You guys did it, well, that you're here. Now, one thing I want to point out to you, in looking at your profile, see, I can see your followers. And this was a sly little thing that LinkedIn did where they told you, if you want to make your posts visible for all the things that you do, then what you do is you become a content creator.
Gotcha.
Okay, and we thought when we did that, that was a wonderful thing, and it really was. But then it's kind of like in the middle of the night on a Friday night, they went in and they changed the deal. And what they did was they replaced your connect button with a follow button. So
Yeah.
we're going to explain why. And so we need to go back in there and turn that off so that people can connect with you because they can still see what you're doing.
Yeah, I would like that. But you can also, if you click on more, I think there's a connect button and more.
Well, no, there wouldn't be one for us because we're already connected.
Right, right. But I meant if it was a new person.
Right, well, right, but see, the average person doesn't know about that.
That's true. Where do you go in? I don't even know where to go in and turn it off anymore.
If we have time, I'll show you.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you, Max, I want to say thanks so much. And this is going to be our first $1 million year on that. We're well on our way. And I just wanted to, I mean, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me. I just can't. I really appreciate everything you've done. Just wanted to say that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I appreciate that. I mean, I love it when people hit that first $1 million year, but not the last.
And we're on our way.
Oh, congratulations. It's funny because I help so many people, but it's nice to hear it. There's a lot of people, I don't hear they hit $1 million until 10 years after they did it. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, bro. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And by the way, what he did, okay, all of you can do, all right?
Yeah,
What he did,
absolutely.
all of you can do, because number one, it's not hard, and it's just a matter of following some simple steps. And the one thing that impressed me about Joel right from the beginning, because he's a great salesman, great salespeople know you want to listen more than you talk. And working with him was an absolute pleasure. Joe, why don't you tell everybody what coaching did for you, if you would.
Well,
It did so much, I don't know if I can put it into just a few words, but it actually propelled me into the next level. And I think that's what everybody's looking for, being able to come to you and talk to you about what I was doing and just doing the tweaks, just the little things that we miss that the coaching really helped with. I don't know how to even express it. I mean, because even like coming to these things, you do a great job with these, but it's not like the individual coaching where I can ask a personal question on how I actually can make this happen. So it's like you said, we did over 100 agents in 2 months, less than 2 months on that with your coaching and our work. So it was great.
Now, let me clarify something. When we talk to most people that are just getting started, you know, an hour or two a day is really all you really need to build momentum. Well, Joel and Phyllis were putting in 14 hours a day. I didn't think they could do 100 agents in November and December, but they did. Yesterday in our 4 o'clock Ask Max session, I heard from one of my students who is outrageously successful. She signed up, I think, 40 insurance agents in a business in 1 month. Now, the strategies and scripts work for everyone in every kind of business, and I've kind of gone over the time. But really quickly, Dan was building a Melaleuca business. And he had been recruited by one of the top earners in the company. But he wanted to go faster, and his sponsor didn't know anything about social media. So he wanted me to coach him. He owned a franchise that used drones to clean buildings and houses. So after our 3rd coaching session, his sponsor dies. And kind of lost interest in the business because he doesn't have any to work with. So we used the rest of our coaching time to identify, to show him how he could identify the people that he could be selling his cleaning service to. Originally, he was just doing houses. And after we worked together, we started doing hotels, big office buildings. And he called in with his story. Last year, he was struggling. He couldn't even afford to put tires on his car. Hey, Dan, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Look, I've heard from a lot of students in the last 2 or 3 days. Last time we spoke, you know, you would use the training that you got from me to expand your franchise business. And I think you said that, you know, now they kind of brought you and made you a partner.
Yeah, they have actually, Max. Through using your system, one of the things that happened for me is that I learned how to contact people on LinkedIn. And some of those contacts became so powerful that I was able to close a major account with Verizon Wireless that we signed a contract for $20 million. That is to clean cell phone towers. But since then, we've also made contact with people that manage the municipal water towers and water treatment facilities. And in doing so, I mean, it just blown up my business. And it's like I said before, you know, I never would have known how to contact people on LinkedIn. I never would have known to even use LinkedIn for that sort of thing if it hadn't been that I came across you through somebody when I was in networking, when I was in network marketing. I know a lot of people use network marketing, but it can be for anything. Just learning how to contact people is the biggest thing. It has been so powerful. It's just unbelievable that last year I was struggling financially. And then by the end of the year and this year, I will make over $2 million. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's like unbelievable. It's actually one of those things that was like, it's like one of those things I wasn't sure I believed it until it happened.
Now, as unbelievable as it sounds, all of you can be doing the same thing. And what I wanted to do, I promise, let me flip over here for just a minute. I've opened up registration for my August boot camp and my 3-day top earner retreat. Once a quarter, we have a 3-day weekend. Let me put it in the chat. Go to maxsteingart.com/retreat combo. You'll get access to the July boot camp recordings because it doesn't start until August the 10th.
And I have,
Will Zanders, when we started working together, was the number 6 earner in his company. Now he's number 2. So you can transform your profiles into marketing magnets with 2 profile tweaks. I want to jump over here. And people don't realize that, for those of you that are on LinkedIn or Facebook, you don't realize that nobody can see it. The settings on your profile limit your visibility, and you've got to be seen if you expect something to happen. So I'm going to come over here to LinkedIn. Whoops. So let's see if we can find you. So Leslie, do you see us over there?
I'm here.
Well, welcome. Do you see yourself? Are you on LinkedIn? Do you have a profile?
My profile has not been updated in a minute, so I need to update it. Yes.
Okay, did you pop up here? Can you see yourself?
Yes, I saw myself. It was in the pink. I was in the pink. It was there.
Okay, which one?
Well, I can't see it now. Um, mm, the first one.
First one here.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's take a look at it. And, you know, clearly you've got connections.
I have a few.
So, you know, it's a good start. It's a great picture. I'm gonna shoot over and send you a connection request. Now, something that LinkedIn has so many people that are joining LinkedIn, that what's
Mhm.
starting to happen, let me see, I think I saw a message here from, here it is. So LinkedIn is starting to get into account verification. In other words, so many people are joining LinkedIn and the profiles are bogus
Oh, okay.
that, I mean, we've got 5 boot camp participants that literally had to provide them with, let's see if I can open this up. So let's come back to you. Whoops. Okay, so what are you trying to market and promote?
Well, that's just it. Like I said, I have not updated my profile. I am in network marketing, but I haven't
That's
really
okay.
been promoting it. Yeah.
So, what company, what business are you in? I'll give you a tip on how to find people.
Isogenics.
Oh, okay. Were you at the convention this past weekend?
I was not.
Okay. Well, so to be able to identify the people that would clearly be interested, one group of people would be personal trainers.
Okay.
And there are roughly 610,000 personal trainers on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
You go over here, people that are into fitness. You got 1.5 million. You have that great new collagen product that they released, I think it was last year.
Right.
So you could find people in that are into anti-aging, 14,000 people. The beauty is, if we go looking for opportunity, you got 1,160,000 people that are looking for an opportunity. So there's no shortage of people for you to talk to. All you have to do is tweak your profile, clean it up a little bit, so that you actually become the person that these people that are looking for an opportunity are looking for. That in other words, they look at your profile and they go, wow, you have the solution for my problem. And the rest of it is relatively simple. So it's all about you connecting with people that you know in advance before you ever make the connection. You know in advance that they would be interested in what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay, it's simple, it's easy, and the thing is, it's fast. So there's just some tweaks that you need to do with your profile. Now, I sent you, now for those of you, our July boot camp, as I promised everyone, we added every boot camp is different. So tomorrow night, we have our 5th session of boot camp, the daily routine of $1 million earners and how to develop $1 million mindset. Create a page, connect with people, communicate with them, close them. We have a profile guide. And you have the recorded sessions for the June boot camp. So the profile guide will get you going, but in boot camp, during live sessions, we review your profiles, tell you what to do, what to add. We have our scripts book, and what we added, because posting is important, as promised, I've added a file with about 150 positive posting messages that you could use. You could download them, put them on your computer so you don't have to go searching for them, as well as GIFs, motivating moving images. The case studies are still being worked on. I expect to have them done probably by the weekend. But these are all designed to help you master recruiting. When you register, you'll have the August boot camp. It's going to be 4 sessions, but you're going to have access to the July boot camp, so you don't have to wait until August the 10th to get started. You can start right away. Additionally, the retreat is a 3-day event where I'm going to teach everybody what the top earners in your business know but never talk about. You're going to get our how network marketers catch whales, and you're going to get the top earners 90-day game plan for building a business. They start Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. On Friday and Saturday, it goes to 3. On Sunday, it goes to 2. All of these sessions are recorded. So when you register for the boot camp and the retreat, you're going to get immediate access to all the tools in the retreat, but you're not going to have the videos because you have to wait until I think it's the 25th or the 26th. What we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to connect with whales, the 4 ways people make money online. And then we're going to go through the 90-day game plan, which is designed to show you how you build a team. And it's basically 4 steps: preparation, pre-launch, launch, and event. This is going to step you through what you do with every person that you bring into your business, prepare them, then get them ready with the pre-launch, and then the actual launch, their daily method of operation where they're going to be reaching out to people, and then how you drive people to events. Now, most companies have 90-day game plans. This one is designed to show you how to build the business in every possible way. You got home meetings, hotel meetings, conferences, webinars, how you can set these things up and conduct them on your own. So when you go to maxsteingart.com/retreat combo, you get a seat in the summer retreat, seat in the August boot camp. Both of these are live events. You get the 90-day game plan, and you also get our whale book. And I believe there's a 2-payment option for this. But it's designed primarily to give you all the information. Every retreat is different. Every boot camp is different. Every month, there's something new that we can talk about, something new that we can share with you. And at the end of the day, it's all about one thing. Who are we talking to? And the more selective you are about who you talk to, the more successful you're going to be. I can't emphasize that enough. The more you have access to so many people, you talk to perfect prospects every day, but you know in advance who these people are. So how would you feel if you knew in advance that the people you were talking to needed and wanted what you're selling so you'd never be rejected? How would you feel if you could close 80% of the people that you would talk to? 80%. It's just a matter of following scripts. You only want to talk to qualified people about your business. The secret to connecting with the right people is, one, the contents of their profile, their visible activity, and their answers to your question. I started working with Sam this year. In 2 weeks after our second coaching session, he sponsored 12 people. And he went on to share this. I've added 31 new team members in the last 3 weeks. He is signing up one person every day. UA coaching gave me the reassurance to go from where I was for a few months, stuck, not going forward, getting rejection after rejection. He's signing up 90% of the people. And there's nothing that he's doing that you can't be doing. We lay it out for you. Carol Pierce, rank advanced 3 months in a row. I mean, first month, she made 10 presentations. The last 6 days of the month, made 10 presentations, enrolled 8 people. In 15 years, she had the best month she'd ever had in network marketing, and rank advanced 1 level. Second month, team's on fire. Over the last 2 months, we have 23 customers. I reached the first rank of director in 6 days, my first month. My second month, I rank advanced again. Now I'm director 2. Had 1 team member advance to director. This month, the average is 1 new customer every day. This is so much fun. It's hard to stop talking to people. Everything you teach works. I change your life. I will change your life. Third month, rank advance again. I'm a director 3, having incredible fun building my business. I wish I knew you years ago. I hear that all the time. Now, every year, there are hundreds of top earners of numerous network marketing companies who will credit their achievements and success to having attended one of my 3 top earner retreats. During our time together, you're going to learn what most of the leaders and top earners in network marketing know, but never talk about unless you're on their team. You'll also learn the easiest way to build a large team on LinkedIn, Facebook, or any of the other social networks that many of your most successful leaders in your company don't know. In fact, most of the successful leaders you meet on LinkedIn and Facebook don't know what I'm going to teach you in the retreat. This knowledge gives you power, but power isn't power unless you apply it. Now, if there's anybody here that is dedicated to their business and really wants to go fast, just type coaching and put your phone number in the chat window. Tomorrow I'm finishing up with 2 people. I only work with 25 people a month, and I'm going to have 2 openings for my coaching program. So just put coaching, put your phone number in there, and one of my staff members will give you a call. And I think got all the questions answered. Now, every retreat session is going to be recorded. So if you can't attend any of them, don't worry about it. You'll be able to go back and you'll be able to review them. So go to maxsteingart.com/retreat combo. I put it in the chat. You'll participate in the August boot camp and the summer retreat. All the sessions are recorded. August boot camp. Our private message scripts are in the process of being updated. They're updated every month. You're going to get our new additions to make posting easier. And of course, the 3-day summer retreat. Now, our last session of boot camp is tomorrow, so I hope to see many of you there. And so until next time, best of luck in building your business. God bless. Let me just put that back in here one more time. Make it easy for you. And oh, by the way, if any of you are interested in my group coaching program, you could also put group coaching in there. We work with 6 people at a time. It's a little cheaper. Catch up to all of you tomorrow. And folks, you're in an industry, folks, that has made more people millionaires than any other business out there. It's a great business, but just like there are a lot of good things, there's also a lot of things that you really need to be aware of. So until next time, best of luck in building your business. God bless.